Titus Livius, Livy, for important facts. Number 4. Who was Livy? The life of the historian. Around the year 59 BC, Livy was born in Patavium, modern Padua, in northern Italy, where he also spent his first 30 years of life. That was a period of civil wars throughout the Roman world. Livy probably came to Rome after Augustus' final victory at Actium and the beginning of the period of peace in Italy. Little is known about Livy's life, nothing about his parents. But what we do know is that he was rich enough to live an independent and to devote himself to Roman history. Livy himself was not politically active, unlike most Roman historians, such as Sallust or Tacitus. This made him the first important Roman scholar to write historical works without any political experience of his own. In his old age, probably after the death of Augustus, he left Rome for Padua, where he died in 17 AD. Number 3. Livy and Augustus, the historian and the emperor. When Augustus came to power, the chaos of civil war was over, but the city still bore the scars of power struggles and moral decay. Augustus, the first Roman emperor, saw himself not just as a ruler but as a restorer of Roman values. He launched moral reforms, championing values like piety, discipline, and family. Livy's work aligned with Augustus's agenda in fascinating ways. His history celebrated Rome's legendary heroes, figures like Romulus and Scipio Africanus, who embodied those values like piety, loyalty, modesty, moderation, or mildness. Did Livy and Augustus meet? There is no direct evidence that Livy and Augustus had a close personal relationship. However, Livius was commissioned to teach his young great-nephew, the later Emperor Claudius, to devote himself to historiography. Number 2. Urbe Condita, from the founding of the city, a monumental undertaking. In this work Livy recounts in detail the history of Rome, which spanned more than 700 years during his lifetime, beginning with the founding myths of Rome, Romulus and Remus suckled by a she-wolf, to Livy's contemporary period. Livy began his enormous historical work in the early 20s of the 1st century BC, and worked on it until the end of his life, 142 books. Only 35 books have survived the passage of time. Livy wasn't a detached historian. He wrote to inspire. To him, history wasn't merely a record of facts, it was a way to teach Romans about virtue, values, and the dangers of hubris. He reflects this sentiment: you will find examples of any type of behavior that should be imitated or avoided. He wrote about the expulsion of Tarquinius Superbus, the foundation of the Republic by Brutus, about the Punic Wars and Hannibal, to name just a few examples. Number 1. Hannibal's crossing of the Alps, one of the most thrilling episodes in Roman history. In this iconic passage, Livy describes Hannibal on his dangerous journey across the Alps with his army and dozens of war elephants in winter time. Hannibal's army faced freezing temperatures, starvation, and hostile tribes. Livy portrays Hannibal as a master of motivation, rallying his troops against despair. When they reached a high vantage point and looked down into Italy, Hannibal declared, "You see the land of your enemies. You are crossing not only the walls of Italy but Rome itself. Henceforth all will be smooth and easy for you." The Alps had been conquered, with great losses. In Italy, Hannibal won a succession of victories. In the end, Hannibal did not attack Rome but returned to Carthage.